Back with the main pack, and you can also see that it's the business end of the day. Omega Pharma, also Saxo Bank starting to show some interest here, but the yellow jersey is the man that's being protected right now. Suddenly those up front kind of get the note and decide that it's time to stretch their legs just a little bit as well. Final kick then for them, if they will be first to come off this hill, don't forget. Big advantage if you're the smaller group, especially if the roads are just slightly cut up and not playing into your hands. Bjorn Leukemans here, the Belgian, always likes this kind of day, just a little bit rough. He probably would have liked it to be raining with some cobbles around the place and maybe a bit of dirt out there. That's the Belgians for you. As you can see, we have fractured into two. The main head group here. And there is the chasing peloton that have strung out on the country roads just under one of the highway bridges that takes you directly from the Spanish border all the way along the coast and back to the heart of the Algarve, where we started today in Vilamora, the town of love. Yes, indeed. So Rabobank also starting to join the fun here. It's about individual efforts, and maybe despite the fact that they're not high enough up overall. I think Luis Leon Sanchez at a minute and 28 is their highest representative in the general classification. But stage glory, always worthwhile, especially at this end of a busy start to the season. There's very little downtime these days, what with training, and it makes it an automatic bridge to the new season. Kaya Rorals, Julian Sanchez, yes, third in the mountain class in the Tour of the Basque Country. Looks like he is done and dusted. And there you can see intermediate group 15 seconds now ahead of the peloton. The charge really is on, and Omega Pharma, yes, at the business end, along with some local Portuguese representation. Glass Drive have actually put themselves high up the order during this one. We've been aware of them, along with Antarte, LA Antarte. They've, in their bright orange strip, have done a good job, I think, for the four Portuguese teams. Almost exclusively Portuguese, I might add. Dries de Veyens then suddenly decides to pick the pace up again. They're rolling well, these two, and in fact these two groups have just about emerged. Oh, nice little slingshot there. Why not get a hand off? Pace up again. It's very, very quick, so we better take our last commercial break before we get there, and we'll be back with you in just a few moments' time. Stay with us.
Newly crowned Australian Open champion Victoria Azarenka heads to Doha, where all of the top names have something to prove against the new world number one. WTA Doha, tomorrow 3 p.m, live on British Eurosport 2.
All your favourite
for the end here. When they were coming off that final little climb, it looked a bit testy. Well, we'll see how they finish today. Sky certainly have done an awful lot of work here. Richie Porte is the man they're thinking about, but they may well just be thinking about slingshotting as well. Edvald Bosenhagen again took stage 2, don't forget. Richie Porte, bit of a mountain goat yesterday, had to be up into the Green Mountains. What about today and the sprinters? Well, wouldn't mind knowing your predictions along the way. It's going to be a bit of a drive today. Into just looking at the final turn, there's quite a nasty right-hander as we get into Tavira itself. Luckily, absolutely no moisture in the air, because a lot of the paving is actually white marble, strangely cut into small cobbles, but worn flat over the years, so watch out for that. It may well be that part of the finish today turns out to be tarmac. Thanks for your kind comments. Duncan remember saying maybe Omani bullfighting if things don't work out today. Yes, we've been covering the Tour of Oman as well. Highlights, will be staying with them until Monday, I think, as well. The Tour of the Algarve finishes with a time trial tomorrow, so it's the last chance for those jerseys to be sorted out today, the intermediate jerseys. They've already been handed out. We mentioned that at the top of the programme. And Rabobank now in the orange at on the left-hand side of your screen, tight in on the wall. And Vacances Soleil, yes, thinking about holding Johnny Hoogerland to account here. They came here with attacking profile, Vacances Soleil. Nothing you would have thought that would trouble the sprinters, but well, you never know on a day like today. It might just get a little bit of a breakdown. Might not be as quick as we think towards the end, especially with that nasty switchback just in the run into town. We'll see. No doubt about the determination of those behind, though. Look at Omega Pharma. Gerald Sherlick wants a piece of today. You can be sure of that. His lead-out man's Nico Mace Terpstra as well. Nicky Terpstra, who's been busy, and Trentin as well. They have formed themselves into the best-looking train just for the time being. How long that stays together, we'll wait and see. Big checks over the shoulder here. AG2R, Lloyd Mondery wants a piece of today. So here we go. 2 kilometres only remaining, and they've still got belief, these boys. This is fantastic stuff. Can they bring it home? Well, we said there was that little kink in the road. And that's not the one I'm referring to. That's a left hand. There is a right hander still to come, as far as I can tell from my map. We're up here with the helicopter, and we're looking down at 5 men who've got to believe that maybe they've got a chance here. So who's it going to be out of these? Well, there is Jan Bekeland, 6th in the Tour Down Under, and 6th in the Wallonia as well. Don't forget, he's handy. Dries de Weens, 8th on the Enica Tour last year. He's got a lot of belief as well. 3rd behind Contador, don't forget, in Oman, but that was up the lumpy stuff onto the Green Mountain. That was last year as well. So, yes, he's a pretty handy all-rounder. There's the intermediate group you can see just coming out of the shadows, top of your screen. They're the boys that have been dropped here. They might bring this home, you know. Well, I think that graphic of 2 kilometres Domata was possibly just erroneous because you'll have to forgive us for that. Coming over the major road bridge back into Tavira here. It's a town that's split along the way, and there doesn't look any urgency. We'd be heading for it, so apologies for that graphic just a few moments ago. Dries de Weens just taking a rest up here. Bjorn Leukemans still in the frame. So is Michael Cherel, the AG2R Le Mondial Frenchman. Had a good Grand Prix of Marseille, actually, to open the season. So, yeah, just finished off the podium. Ran well. Greg van Avermaet of BMC. Well, if he's got his classics head on, then this could well be his day if they manage to stay out there. The charge is going on. That's the and in fact they've wound in, it looks like, the intermediate group here, and so only 15 seconds now separating. So it looks like Sky have done the proper work today. We'll see. So who are your picks? Possibly Fabian Wegmann today for Garmin Barracuda. They've certainly looked like they've got the ambition, and with Hausler, Clear, Crader, Mascant as well joining the party. We'll see how they go. There is that huge shock whenever anyone looks over their shoulders. Greg van Avermaet took a big look back there, and he's seeing the charges coming right at them. We're running out of road here. Big turn up of the wick there for one of the movie star guys. Rui Costa, don't forget, is pretty handy when it comes to the sprint. He's probably more motivated than just about anybody out there. He's only 14 seconds down on Richie Porte overall, so it may well be a movie star versus Sky job today. So they want to get their quick men up there just to take away any of the sprint bonifications that might possibly come his way. Lotto, don't forget, Kenny de Haas is probably winding himself up just out of view. He is there, so is Kaizen and Meersman as well, who won the opening stage, and we know that Meersman can go very, very quickly as well. And Omega Pharma with Gerald Scholek still here. There is the big turn that we were talking about, all the way around the roundabouts. Now then, this is where the run-in happens. Well, they did call that 2 kilometres to go. I wasn't going crazy, and in fact even the live ticker that I'm keeping track on here as well has already called that too. So we just wait for the Flamme Rouge and I think perhaps they may well, the Ultimate Tour. Here we go, the Ultimate Kilometro. So here we are, finally we've got there. And still they wait, they hold back, they wait to drive. I do hope that this connection stays with us. It's not making life easy. There is Bosenhagen getting himself into position. There's the head of it right now. They're in the industrial district, just by the fish processing plants, I might add. Movistar also here, round they come. Oh, Omega Farmer have got are bossing it for the time being, but Jetsabal and Matti Breschel is here, lighting it up and going early. This is a long run out here, and they're going to have to work hard if they're going to catch the Omega Farmer boys. And Gerald Cherlek is waiting to go here, lights it up and says see ya to absolutely everybody. They all thought about it just a little bit too long, did they? Up the ramp he comes and heads for the line. Oh, good work. Very, very good work. And I think that was Bosenhagen that just tried it very, very late on to get the last drive. But yeah, I just wonder whether that miscall with 2 kilometres to go, which came over the radio, I might add, confused too many, and maybe they just went too early. We will see. Gerald Cherlek takes it today. That was fine work by Omega Farmer. They kept their heads. They didn't go too early. I think the miscall over race radio, basically everyone pushed the go button, and essentially the teams just backed out of it. We'll have to get a check on that, but yeah, the 2 kilometres to go was called well early. The graphic popped up on screen. Edvald Bosenhagen couldn't get there either, but Gerald Cherlek has made this his own. Look at this. Fine work, and still biding his time here. The meter's running out, and he didn't even check back once, didn't need to, because he knew he had the power, and as soon as he lit up, there was no doubt about it. And after a long day today, we're expecting a blanket finish across the road, but wow, this belongs to Gerald. Teammate punching the air as well he might. They just couldn't get back. Garmin Barracuda, I think, were the big losers there. Fabian Wegmann and his boys had gone very early. Yes, it didn't happen for them. That final ramp, no problem for Cherlek. Thank you, he says. Our stage winner today, Bosenhagen, was indeed there in the frame. I wish he'd gotten back to his yellow shoes, frankly. A big grimace from him. Good crowd today as well in Tavira, and as you can see, a long time in the saddle, 4 hours 35 in total, just over that. Heinrich Hausler for Garmin, and Trentin given the same time, and yes, Bosenhagen just fading a tad right at the end there. Hausler and his boys really thought they'd got that. Yes, Garmin, I think, went too soon. Wegmann was out of it, so was Crader, but Hausler, their main representative by the end. But no doubt about the quality of this man. Look at this, Gerald Cherlek finding it yet again. They timed it well, hadn't they, and didn't get distracted by any of the missed calls. Richie Port in the leader's jersey coming across the line for you to see there. Good stage win for Cherlek. We await the time trial tomorrow. I'm Carlton Kirby. Hope to have your company for that. Well, we'll hold on for those results and standings. I think Movistar probably felt a bit beaten up there as well. Maybe some questions will be asked, but it's about waiting for the line. I suppose doing your homework as well in advance, if you are one of the team strategists out there, and just making sure, and telling everyone to ignore the call, I suspect. But there you go. Look at the gap. That was enormous. And great to see his lead-out man as well, just able to cruise across the line, arms outstretched. Looks like Bosenhagen finishing in 4th place today. Good racing. Tour of the Algarve. It's and in fact here are the local storks. Used to see them building enormous nests on any chimney in the locale, and they sort of drained an island and gave them that instead. Yes, lovely.